Hey everyone, here is a quick update video to let you guys know what we've been working on until I can catch up on that backlog of larger videos that still need to be edited and published. So here is the beautiful reworking of the very loose cave environment that I had sketched in that Corey has now made beautiful, and Corey is here with me as always. Say hi, Corey.
Hey, how's it going?
So here is the very nice layered promotion file, and as you can see, as it was originally designed, there's these stalactites and stalagmites. Well, I just flipped them to make the stalactites. But then we discussed, which I think you may have seen in older videos, transitioning the foreground items in this environment to be waterfalls later on in the level to give it even more variety. And Corey has recently worked on that waterfall pattern, and I've added all this new art into the game itself, and I've added the functionality for the waterfalls. And I just wanted to mention, if we were making this game based on the limitations of the Super Nintendo, then we could have ended up applying an effect close to a 50% transparency, or I think it's basically like additive blending, like screen and I forget if it's screen or overlay. Do you remember which one in Photoshop? Which blending mode is exactly additive? It's either overlay or screen.
I believe it's screen.
Yeah. But anyway, we don't have that luxury in the case because this game is being made based on the technical constraints of classic Amiga computers, and these are made of sprites, and there's no transparency mode, or translucency mode, I should say, in sprites. But what you can do, what could be done back then, which was because everyone had CRT monitors, which were inherently blurry, there was this thing you could do. Everyone knows what dithering is. Or I shouldn't say that. Maybe some people don't these days. But what you see here, let me see if undo works. Yeah. So if you create a mesh of transparent pixels, like a checkerboard pattern of transparent pixels, it's hard to see with this transparent background color, but let's see. There we go. Basically, you create the illusion. Like if I put this over something, let me grab it as a brush. So if I put this over something, I have to remap colors, remap colors, brush. So there you go. You could see how even on modern LCD monitors, you get the idea that it's transparent, and if it were moving, it would be harder to recognize the dither mesh. But there's another trick that makes it on classic CRT monitors the perfect crime, and that's where if you have two frames of the same object with which pixels are transparent alternating, so that what's called a dither sort of mesh, that dither pattern would be offset horizontally or vertically by 1 pixel. So now it's the opposite pixels that are either completely transparent or have the image. And if you flicker back and forth between those two frames at what would be in America and Japan 60 frames a second, or in the rest of the world with PAL monitors 50 frames per second, when you combine that technique with the inherent blurriness and the relatively slow screen update of old CRT monitors, then you get an extremely convincing, just clean transparency effect. Not too different from the Super Nintendo. But anyway, so in the actual Construct project, I simulated that. We can't simulate the blurriness, or maybe we could with a filter, but we're not going to go that far. I just did the alternating dither mesh. So now I will try to actually get that far. You can see the beautiful new art. We've not yet done, Corey has not yet redone the gargoyles themselves, so there's still the placeholder scribbles that I did. But that'll be the last thing for art for this first version of the game, for this environment in particular. Boy, I'm going to get myself killed before I have the ability to show you guys the waterfall. Oops. Let's see if we can get there. Is that the end of the enemies? That would make it easy. That may have been... Oh, there's a few more enemies. I should have killed them to get a heart. There we go. Yes, there we go. Same thing. Oops. Get back here. Oh, I missed it. Alright, so anyway, there's the waterfalls.
Nice.
So that's what's been done currently. And the next thing to be done are the gargoyles, and then I think, and then touching up or redoing the bats enough to match the gargoyle style more. Since now, otherwise, I think all enemies have been done by Corey, so we want to make sure the art style matches, and the sort of texture style and lighting and rendering style of the bat should match the gargoyles better. And then eventually Corey is going to also redo the original wilderness environment that I had done, because Corey has basically raised the bar on the quality and visual style by creating the other environments. So he's going to redo this environment based loosely on the same ideas and rough color scheme, but with the freedom to just create his version that better matches. Why is this not popping up? How weird. You seeing this? I've clicked on it like 4 times now. It's not even, like, usually there's like it would be popping up. Alright, we are back after some technical difficulties. So here is to remind everyone what the first level currently looks like, so that when Corey eventually gets the chance to redo it, you can see the difference. So here's the original environment I made back when the game was basically going to just be a proof of concept to prove that this form of layered scrolling could be done on basic classic Amigas, even with the using the basic programming language Amos for the Amiga. And the game's come a long way since then, since Corey joined and took over doing most of the art. And so it's just not up to the same standards anymore. So Corey's going to just basically reinvent this environment to match the quality of the previous ones. So that's it. That's where the game stands at the moment. I don't think I've done anything aside from making the waterfalls work. I don't think I've done anything code-wise. So that's about it. And then, was I right, Corey? The next thing you're probably going to do is the gargoyle, redo the gargoyle, and then the bat?
Yeah, I think so.
Right. And then this environment is less urgent, but it would be nice to have it redone for the first official 1.0 release of the game. And then, of course, we still have to do all of the intro cinematics. Oh, I can say also we did come up with a title for the game, which we won't announce yet until when the game's a little further along and we're ready to sort of publicly tease the game.
Right.
Or announce it. We'll reveal the nice logo design that Corey made and the name itself. But yeah, so there's the splash screen / menu system. There's all the cinematic scenes we still have to do, and obviously tweaking the gameplay. Oh, and all of the bosses. So there's a boss at the end of each level. So still quite a bit to do, but I think it's shaping up really nicely. And anyway, that's it for this video, unless you have any last thoughts, Corey?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Yep, so that'll be it for this video, and hopefully we'll have another one for you in the next few days. Thanks very much for watching.